Tickets are still available. You can get one day, Friday or Saturday, for $125, or both days for $225. This is a $25 discount. You don't want to miss out on Juggalo Weekend 2026. You can still make it, so don't panic. Stop panicking. It is in Florida, unfortunately. Factory Town, Miami, Florida. Yeah, you're listening to the words I'm saying, Arfie. Insane Clown Posse and Psychopathic Records present Juggalo Weekend 2026. 2 nights, 1 city, unlimited clown-flavored madness. 2-day and single-day passes available now. The logo for it is an alligator chomping into a bottle of Faygo Cola, which pours out of the bottle and writes 2026. So, you know. Whoop, whoop. Dick for all, parentheses, those who want it. Elfang, founder, Elfang. Thank you for 141 months. Shade the Snake, thank you for 108 months. How are y'all doing? I posted a very good video in the Discord about LLMs. It's very validating to find that the stuff that I intuited about LLMs is slowly but surely being confirmed by actual researchers. You're fortunate to be in an environment in where you have that option. Unfortunately, there's still many people who are swaying to the tune. You are the law. Well, that rocks. Yeah, that sucks, Fox. But, I mean, it's not your fault. Yeah. Fortunately, you have an IT department. I think a lot of companies don't. I think probably most companies don't anymore have a real IT department. Your hardline, no AI? Hell yeah. Good. Ooh. I had the life sucked out of me again today, folks. That's where I'm at. It's a great time to mention that, Ether. And I'm sorry. You know that's going to be a minimum, Nin. Yeah, that's what the quota means. It's forcing people to use AI. A lot of companies are treating it like basically like a little mine, like a mining operation. So what they're doing is that they are forcing people to use it a certain amount, hoping that they're going to get, they're going to get those precious nuggets. My company is middling on all of this. I felt compelled and forced to make a show of having done research, but it wasn't explicit. It was just you know, company culture vibes. Like basically for my own and my my coworkers' protection. I felt like I needed to put on a good show. I've also tried to seed some caution here and there because unfortunately a lot of other people, the vast majority of people in the company are non-technical and have the standard normie response to the, you know, where they think it's magic. But it has not been decreed from on high that we absolutely have to use it a certain amount or anything like that. I think actually the normies are sort of providing us cover because they're so willing. They're so ready and willing to dive in and just do it that the rest of us haven't been compelled. We have, quote, our own GPT, our own Jippity. And 2 weeks ago, we had one of the ex-platform managers bring us into a meeting to say, hey, just want to let you guys know that we need to get those numbers up, basically, and ran a shitty PowerPoint of what we can use it for. Yeah. We have an AI enablement meeting coming up. And there was also a $10,000 bounty for any ideas of how to put it to use that amount to something that is of value. I'm very curious to see what that culminates in. Unfortunately, because the tech bro culture has so thoroughly dominated the tech world, if you are a technical person who is not a tech bro and you're not doing whatever the current fad is, which was crypto and then was NFTs and then is LLMs, you look like you're not, you know, up to speed to people who don't, you know anything. Nice, Valencia. I have poo-pooed it wherever I could. There was a period of time where I was pushing back because my CEO kept like saying like, well, the stuff that you guys do is going to be all generated in a year or two anyway. And I'm like, no, it isn't. It's not going to be. I can promise you that it will not be. Someone helpfully added an AI summary to a set of tests I manage, and yesterday it confidently told me that a test step waited for 9,000 hours. Yeah. This is, you know, to some degree, preaching to the choir stuff, but I encourage anybody to give this video a watch. Because this is the stuff I've been talking about with regards to why they will never solve these problems. Because they are not solvable. If your employer were to incorporate AI and use it regularly, would you be seeking a new employer? And for the record, my employer regularly pushing his AI to their clients. It's nauseating, but my bills got to be paid. I mean, that's the thing, is like, depends on your circumstances, right? In my case, we are not independently wealthy. And so I'm trying to do what I can to shield myself and my coworkers from it for as long as I can. And I have, I believe, valid reasons for doing so that are backed by facts. So I think that will continue to be successful indefinitely. I think that if it became irrational and it's just being forced upon us, then I would start looking for other work, but I probably wouldn't immediately quit because, as I said, as far as circumstances go, we're not so wealthy that we have like savings to, you know, run off of for an extended period of time. Actually, this past fucking year and a half has been brutal with the cost of basically every fucking thing going up. Groceries, power bills, veterinary stuff, you name it. I mean, everything has gone up. And we've just been getting killed. Like, we're surviving, but we're essentially just sort of treading water. And it's crazy because, like, just 2 years ago, I felt like we were on a great path. Not anymore. I have to say, like, the State of the Union stuff was pretty fucking crazy. Like, when he was going down the list of, like, energy costs come way down, and I'm like, my electricity bill and my gas bill have steadily increased, and it, like, rapidly too. Like, the amount that those have gone up in a short period of time is insane. So, like, what? Instantly provably wrong. He also mentions the gas one a lot, and I swear to God, I have not seen gas change. Gas has been, like, around $3, I feel like, for forever. I'm sure there's stats on it, and I haven't looked them up, but I mean, just like from my vibey impression, I haven't seen gas, like, move. It is definitely not $1. I don't know why he says that. It is funny. Oh God, don't get me fucking started on ISPs, dude. Mine is over $150 now, and it started at $99. Why? Also, everyone else's costs are going up. So, like, our trash is doing the same thing. It's steadily going up, and very fast. The amount we're paying for trash collection. I feel insane, folks. I feel insane. Well, the part that makes me feel insane, though, is not him saying it. I expect him to say that stuff. I mean, this is what he did the first go around. He's doing the same shit he did the last time. What makes me feel insane is that there's so many other people who are like, yeah. That part is what worries me. Because it's like, how can you be, surely your bills are also doing the same things everybody else's bills are. And also, I'm in a red state, too, so it's not like a red state, blue state situation where, like, the red states are getting good bills and the blue states are getting bad bills. It's like, it's gotta be happening to everybody. Everyone must be experiencing this, right? So that's the part that makes me feel like I'm losing my mind. I guess so, yeah. I hate how it feels rough to even to quote like why have I forgotten the name of it? 1984. I don't know why I couldn't think of 1984. Like, that's been so fucking like abused by them. Like, it doesn't feel prescient to even quote it anymore. And yet there's weird nuance to these things. Like, the gaslighting is really out of control. Like the thing that happened with anti-Semitism over the past like 3 years, where there is anti-Semitism. There always was, and there still is. But the word has been so abused to apply to people who are just critical of Israel that now it's distorted and deformed. And the you know, like, it's weird when you look at something like ADL, because it's like the stated purpose is now deformed. Like, you are supposed to protect against this stuff, but you're using it as a weapon to attack people who are not and people can't wrap their heads around like that many layers of like gaslighting. You know what I mean? And that's like, that describes a ton of stuff. I think that's one of the most stark and clear examples. And the thing is like, people wrote about these things hundreds of years ago. People figured out these problems. Like, if you abuse concepts like this to achieve improper ends, so basically if you distort the meaning of something like anti-Semitism as a weapon to attack people, you know, unjustly, what ends up happening is that you engender more of the thing. You're opening the door that will eventually lead to blowback, which is what is happening, because there's a genuine, real rise of just general anti-Semitism, and also this insane phenomenon of where you have like neo-Nazis who are openly supportive of Israel. But obviously they have other ends in mind, right? Like, what a world. It's difficult. Similarly, like, fraud is not fraud anymore. It's something that people inherently assume because people are distrustful, but the way that it's used is, again, as a weapon. So they'll use it as a stick to beat people with, and that's the that's what opened the door for Doge. Whereas by contrast, the Consumer Protection Bureau actually did deal with real fraud and returned, I think it's billions of dollars? I think billions of dollars to citizens. And the fake search for fraud, Doge, destroyed the real department that was really dealing with fraud. Yeah, Lena Khan was really trying to deal with monopolies. So it's crazy. It's just crazy town. Everything is opposite world. We have fake organizations that say they're looking for fraud, but in fact, they're actually dismantling things that they just don't like. And they don't really care about fraud. But there is real fraud, but the real fraud isn't being dealt with. And the people who ostensibly say they are dealing with it are also themselves engaged in fraud. Hi. I'm being a bad person online again. Again?
Gosh. You're so busy.
Yeah. Thank you for not forgetting me.
Also, cone penning is pretty great.
What's that now?
It's like cone penning is pretty great.
Yeah. Normal English wife.
Am I an English wife? Am I not?
Hell yeah, Valencia, that's awesome. And unexpected. Kind of seems like good things don't happen, but occasionally.
Hi.
Thinking about the recent Brianna Wu tweet that went like, obviously Israel is good and Zionism is good, but why do so many Zionists seem to be anti-trans? Yeah, weird, huh? Weird. Wonder how that occurred. And like, is that earnest? Is that bad faith? Is it this complex? You know what I mean? That's what really makes me start to kind of lose control, is when I see what seems like easy to understand stuff and people are like struggling in that particular way. It's like you don't seem to be able to do the sort of basic arithmetic here. And also all that stuff I said about those other topics, it applies to trans people as well. Like the whole thing with TERFs is the same sort of story, where they're taking feminism and using it as a stick to beat trans people with, which undermines feminism. All of this stuff is just, it's the same playbook every time with everything. And I think a lot of these people are actually earnest and think that they're doing good, which is also scary. Like, I don't think, don't get me wrong here, J.K. Rowling is one of the world's worst monsters, so I'm just going to lay that out there right now. But I think that she thinks she is like a hero. I think she thinks she's doing good things.
Oh, definitely.
But her brain is fucking broken. RFK, similar story. RFK, I think, thinks he's doing good things, but like he's bringing back miasma theory to replace the germ theory of disease.
I don't know. He's killed a lot of kids.
He has. That's the thing.
I
feel
thing.
Like
he
went to
like
Samoa and basically was a mass murderer, and then I
feel like he knows that it's not good anymore. Like, after that many kids died, you're not like, this is the right choice. Like,
well, that's I don't because like you would think that that's pretty fucking obvious.
I think originally you were right, But then, like, after that kind of shit happened, I think at this point he's just doubling down because.
Do you think he turned evil necessarily? Like, how do I even say this? That's not the right way to say it, because in my view, he was evil the entire time. But like, you think from his perspective, he accepted that he's evil? Is that what you're saying? Because I think that he just doesn't think that was wrong.
He genuinely believed it, and then all of that shit happened, and then he was like, "Fuck, this ain't right," but I don't want to.
But he's doing the same shit here. If that were true, like, if that were true, he wouldn't be doing the same shit here. I'm sorry.
Like, you should let me finish. And I think at that point, when he realized that, like, oh shit, this might be wrong, a lot of people died, he was just like, but now all of these people believe in me, so I have to keep doing it. And then he just decided to say, fuck it, there were 4 people in it. Nobody will ever find out.
I don't know. I think that these people are delusional to the degree that they don't recognize the outcomes of their actions in that way. That's a lot of the problem. Actually, that's a lot of the problem with all of this stuff, is that we have divergent realities. Because like, when we look at what RFK did, he went to Samoa and his actions led directly to the deaths of many, many children for no reason at all. It was just anti-vaccine propaganda. And then people died, as expected, as you would expect, in a real reality. But I really kind of believe that the problem that we have is that a lot of these people actually are experiencing like a divergent reality. Not like a phenomenon. There aren't 2 realities. But from their perspective, it's a delusional.
There's some other reason.
It's a total delusion that seems real to them. Like, they just are sort of manufacturing a new reality that is sort of self-defensive. Like, so he wouldn't think of himself as a mass murderer, because from his perspective, all of the pieces of what he did were virtuous in his mind. So therefore, he's not responsible for those things that happened, and they don't have anything to do with him, and so he probably doesn't even think about it.
I think he knows.
He probably thinks he's the hero of that situation. He got so many people off of the vaccine, and it's just happenstance that they died. Actually, no, that is it. That is it, because in their view, it's actually the fucking word is slipping my mind. Eugenics. It's eugenics is what it is. No, seriously, in his mind, probably what he did is that those
they were black.
What? No, eugenics. So, I mean, it does have racial components, but also it has the whole, like, it's the worst take on survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
So basically, he would just totally discard those people that died from his mind, because in his view, it's not because they didn't have the vaccines, it's because they weren't strong enough to just, become immune.
I mean, that was the argument during COVID for a lot of people.
Right, yeah.
Is that
just let the old people let people die.
Like the one Australian guy, because they didn't love themselves enough.
And if that's like, if they fully, like, that's their perceived reality, then that's how they get to operate the way they do. They're sort of like free of what seems to us to be free of ethics, free of morals, free of any sort of compunction of those sorts of things. They'll never see themselves as villains, because they are experiencing a reality that is completely divorced from ours. We see the facts of what happened. They see themselves as the hero of the story. And in some sense, it's like basically the secret internal thoughts of people. You don't know what their motives and intentions were, but that's probably what it is. Hey, Pubs. Good to see ya. Thank you for this enlightening perspective. That's also why we can't ever, like, the whole thing where people like point out hypocrisy and stuff like that, it's absolutely pointless. It's just sort of like, it's preaching to the choir, it's masturbation for their own side, but it'll never, they have to be like living in a shared reality with you to experience any sort of shame.
Yeah.
You don't have the bridge. You don't have like the rational bridge between the way you're thinking about it and the way they think about it. Probably ether. Yeah, probably. I mean, look at the fucking amount of laser focus they have.
I can never
on
get in there and crank it ever again.
Minnesota, because one of the dumbest fail sons ever born made a video. A dumbass video fueled by a fucking conspiracy theorist, a local conspiracy theorist. And the results, like the fucking chain of events, is insane to think about. It's brain destroying. One of the most idiot fail sons to ever exist made a YouTube video, and then people were thrown out of the country. 2 people were shot in the street. I mean, basically, there is an argument to be made that there's a sort of direct chain from that kid to the murder of those 2 people. If he hadn't done that, it would not have drawn the focus of the Trump administration. It's a mix. There are people, Blockington, who have actually indicated that they basically want us to just be biofuel. Curtis Yarvin has said as much. Peter Thiel has said as much. So it's not entirely wrong. But I think you're also right that, I mean, what I'm arguing is that I think a lot of these people also are experiencing a diluted reality. And in some sense, but here's the thing. If they are, they can, as part of their worldview, include not really caring if, like, the bottom, from their view, bottom 20% of people are destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Like, from our perspective, we'd be looking to improve society by lifting everyone up. From their perspective, they would improve society by cutting people out. But they don't even have to say it because it's just sort of inherent in their delusion. Does that make sense? It's their standard operating procedure. But it's definitely not a conspiracy. I mean, there are a number of them that have said this explicitly, like they totally dropped mask on that. Yeah. That's one of the things that's like the most, I think, difficult to wrap your head around in life, is that you really don't know the interiority of other people, but they do have it. And I think everybody kind of inherently assumes that the people that are around them and the people that they meet are, to some degree, for the most part, similar to themselves. You know, you just sort of inherently assume that. You don't assume that people are you know, murderers, or that they, you know, every person you meet wants you dead or something like that. I mean, obviously you can, and if you have extreme paranoia, you do. But for the most part, I'm just saying, like, kind of on average, I think people don't really think about that too much. And it's easy to forget that somebody like Peter Thiel could have a worldview that is absolutely beyond your comprehension of what someone would adopt. But, Peter Thiel's probably one of the only people who would hesitate when asked whether or not he thinks humanity should survive. And not for like a second, a full 20-second hesitation. Another thing is that there's such an insane fire hose of information that I think a lot of people just can't keep all this shit in their fucking heads. It's hard to keep track of the, hundreds of things going on a week at least. It's too much, and I think people have a really small window of stuff they can keep track of. Like maybe one or two big bads, a handful of lesser bads, and then beyond that, they kind of forget all the other insane shit that was perpetrated 3 months, 6 months, a year ago, 3 years ago. Unfortunately for myself, I have a pretty good memory, so I find myself kind of feeling insane. Like I feel like the Epstein stuff is kind of, it ebbs and flows, right? Like we're in a dip at the moment where people are kind of forgetting again. But if there's another release or something, then it'll snap back into everybody's view again. Which is also kind of funny because I think people kind of forgot about the Panama Papers. No one talks about that. You would think it'd be pretty relevant given the similarities. But I also have kind of forgotten the finer points on that one because it's been so long now and no one's talked about it for so long. $10 Bibles worth? Is that how we measure files? I need an operating system update. How many files are in your NAS? Like 50, 60 Bibles worth. Yeah, one Cubit Bible. I have a 30 terabibble server. It does sound like puppy chow, yeah. But for the religious. The holiest meal for your divine pups is Kibby Bible. Kibba Bibble. Every kibble has a verse inside. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on all those points, Blockington, for sure. I don't know, there's a weird mix of people. I stumbled upon another garbage ass subreddit today. It's funny because there will be these little flare-ups because Reddit has become so kind of libbed up, sort of progressived up, but I think mostly libbed up. Like if you look at just popular, the biggest stuff on Reddit is always like basically lib worldview. And the centrist and right wingers are, you know, seething most of the time, and they make these little subreddits where they'll vent it off. And there's a new one that's just so, it's not even like, you can't even really get angry at it because it's so pathetically over the top. Oh yeah, our conservative isn't even worth talking about. It's a silly place. Now I'm more interested in the weird little flare-up ones that appear and then explode. But yeah, it's so over the top extreme because their whole thing is like just basically saying that nothing is happening. And they also, they're like, they try to kind of act like they are absolute centrists, but it just, they're very obviously extremely right-wing. And their whole shtick is just saying like everything that everyone is mad about is just overreaction and nothing is actually happening, which is itself, I think, the same sort of diverging, delusional, alternate reality. Clearly things are happening. It's like people are not wrong to be enraged, concerned. It's absolutely wild in this time, in this moment, to take like this extreme centrist position. But it's not even worth getting mad about. I mean, I don't think Reddit needs to go for that reason. Reddit needs to go because the fucking CEO is an Elon taint licker. A fail son who just sells everyone's data, wishes he was Elon, and is really a pathetic individual. Sorry, Kiki. I don't know that it's doom necessarily. It's just sort of discussion. Whoop whoop. Yep. Juggalo Weekend 2026 starts tomorrow, runs through Saturday. $125 for a single day, Friday or Saturday, or $225 for both. Don't miss out. Miami, Florida, Factory Town. I memorized their whole page. Well, the logo had Faygo Cola, but you'd think they'd have them all, right? The whole flavor line. That's real information. If you're in Florida and you want to go to Juggalo Weekend, you can use the information I just gave you. It is authentic. Whoop whoop. Well, the thing is, Ether, about all of this is that all this shit is wildly unpopular. A lot of these people think that this was a mandate against woke or whatever, But what this actually was American apathy. It was just, we got here because of capitalism. End of the day. And it's not an actual clapback. It wasn't a real mandate. The question is what's going to happen later this year. Now I'm lefty, and so I know that, you know, I know the whole, like, we're not going to vote our way out of this, blah blah blah. You can't uncapitalism from within capitalism, blah blah blah. I vote nevertheless. I always do. And so it's an open question as to how angry people are, how far that's reached into the apathetic portion of America, and where they fall along those lines. If we were a people worth saving, it really ought to be it ought to be like a Reagan-style blowout. This year and 2 years from now. But unfortunately, I don't think we are. I don't think we are that, unfortunately. My view is complicated, basically. Like, for one, I don't believe that the lesser evil argument is a good argument for getting people to vote. I think what people don't understand about that is it's too individualistic, is my view. It's correct. Yes, you should obviously vote for the less harmful party, candidate, whatever. That is obvious. It's sort of axiomatic. On the flip side, it is absolutely uninspiring to get people out to vote. And it's the job, in my view, of the party and the people who want to get elected to make a better argument than that. Now, I'm irrelevant because I will vote anyway because I'm an informed voter. I'm following what's going on. I would never ever vote to the right. And I'm on the watch for fake lefties. I got burned by Kristen Sinema. I'll admit, I gave her a vote. It was not obvious at the time what was about to happen. Right. You see, that's the thing. Newsom sucks shit. And it's wild to me. Like, we're so far from the presidential election as well, and already libs are deploying this whole, like, well, that's what we've got, and so you have to like him because it's not as bad as Trump. Like, okay, first of all, why do you guys always put up the worst dude you have? We have so much time. Can't we put up somebody great? Can we make it so that people actually want to vote this time? Or do we have to run the worst we have? Again. What is your problem? I don't know what's fucking wrong with, like, lib Democrats, but they are just convinced that it has to be the worst guy possible. And I think it's because they are still in this mindset of, like, the right wins, therefore we can only win if we are the right, which I really don't believe. I really believe that if you ran a campaign aligned with what people, you know, when polled, vast majority of Americans support progressive things. You just run those. Just run those. I don't know, man. I guess I'm stupid. It seems quite easy. Like just a total no-brainer. But for some reason, it's a fucking struggle for us.
there's some really great candidates right now. Like, fuck, I'm gonna destroy her last name. Instead of that, I'm gonna look it up. Someone knows who I'm already thinking of. Kat Abugazela. Abugazela. I read it and I blew it. I think I got it more correct the second time. Kat's incredible. I haven't heard it said, actually. I've watched a lot of content and I don't recall hearing her name. I'm sure I have, but I should have committed it to memory before trying to fucking say it with my mouth. I think it's a Bugazela. Look, I gave it an earnest effort. Leave me alone. Yeah, I mean, I don't think people can be totally blamed for Fetterman, although I think that he had some indicators in his past, I think. But whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, that's another thing we need to kind of probably stop doing, is like trying to fucking... Like, here's what I don't understand, man. Another thing that's kind of like lib shit is like, at least from... This is more Reddit crap again, really. But occasionally... almost at like a sort of steady clip, like once a month we have to have this huge giant post where they yell at people about Gaza. The thrust of which is always like, are you happy about not voting now, Gaza freaks, you know, or whatever. Like, as a strategy for a party, for a collective, do you think it's an awesome idea to like infinitely punish people about that? Do you think that's bringing people into the party? You think that's gonna get people to go out and fucking vote? Might be Hook. Hook is definitely in the thing. In fact, when I started the stream, it was on a track from the Hook soundtrack. This is indeed Hook, Fox. You got it. It is The Greatest Adventure from the Hook soundtrack. I voted for Harris. And I was extremely, as far as I was concerned, they ran a pro-genocide platform. I did basically have to come to the conclusion that they were both pro-genocide platforms. And I assumed that the right would be worse because the right is always worse. So I voted for Kamala. But I think that the reason that a lot of people on the left will say not to, or they will avoid saying that they will, is because there isn't really a way to combat this other than to try to just avoid it and then still vote the harm reduction path. Internally, you are doing that, but externally, it's just not, we can't have that be the main argument for everything forever. Like, we need to be able to demand things from politicians. It can't always be this default, like, we have to vote for these people because the other ones are so awful, and therefore we get nothing. I mean, really, that just leads us to the ones that we get are also pretty awful. It doesn't, here's the thing, Fox. We gain nothing by beating people up about that now. What is to be gained? A lot of people are really high and mighty about that shit now. What is to be gained? Feel good about being right, I guess, you know? And I'm not coming at you. I'm talking more about, I think in general, it's more of a shit lib problem. Because yes, I mean, logically, I agree with what you're saying. But I have some leeway in my mind for people who were much more directly, like it's more a part of their life. It's not a part of my life. I care about it very much. But it doesn't directly impact me. I'm not Palestinian. I don't have Palestinian family. I don't know that I even have ever met a Palestinian person. But for me, it's just a very obvious, like, this was a genocide. But a lot of the people that are being blasted about this, for them, their like family members were directly experiencing and were killed and so on. And that is, to me, I can't fathom how you make the choice between two parties, both of which are supportive of the genocide. And so I kind of give them the grace of like, maybe it just was beyond their capacity, like morally, to vote for either. Which, yes, logically, that does mean like if the slightly better one loses, then the worst one will win, and you're technically contributing to that. But like, doesn't sound like an easy choice to me, man. That sounds like a fucking hard choice. So at any rate, what I land on is I don't think it's a useful thing to do, and I don't think that we gain anything by doing it. I think we just accept that that's what happened and move on. Maybe let's avoid having that situation again by not supporting genocide. Pretty easy, I think. Pretty easy choice. Going forward, I mean. I definitely feel people are not as mad about that as they need to be, Valencia. Yeah, I just kind of feel like the problem with this logic is that it is a sort of thorny trap. Because at the end of the day, what results from that, correct though it may be, is that we continue our sort of perpetual slide to the right. And it is kind of an inherent outcome of our system. The way our voting system works, the way our laws work, the way our electoral system in general works, and, capitalism. This is essentially inevitable. And the only real way out of it is, people power, and a huge amount of it, an improbable amount of it. That's the problem. That's why we can't get like a general strike going. It's kind of wild how much the sort of mechanisms of all of this stuff are unrecognized by people, that they're not seemingly able to grasp how one thing leads to another thing to another thing. Because people still balk at, like, when you say, like, well, capitalism is clearly to blame here. And to me, it seems insane to even be able to take that position, because we've had a steady progression that's been quite out in the open in terms of like more and more of the sort of gates have been opened to money in politics. And at this point, it's fully open. And therefore, it's quite clear what's been happening. You look at the results. More and more and more and more, the government of the country has been favorable outcomes for corporations. Regulations removed. You know, like just the other day, there was the Trump getting rid of the regulation on mercury pollution. So now mercury is back. It's back. Let's go. I think something like that might be going on for asbestos as well. And it seems like we're just days away from putting the lead back in gas. And, you know, the reason for all these things is it's perverse incentives that are inherent to capitalism. Infinite profit. Got to remove all barriers to increase profit. Anything that inhibits profit. That's the only, it's a, I don't know, it's a virus, basically, is how it operates. It doesn't care for anything. It just has one objective. Profit. If the host dies, well, we're not going to think about that, because unless it's happening this quarter, number must go up. Absolutely, Ether. I mean, there's definitely people waking up, and there's definitely real solidarity growing. But we are far from the days of the minor wars. You know what I'm saying? We're so far behind. But then again, things were so much worse at the time. So maybe that's why, right? Because we don't quite have company towns yet. We sort of, I think that kind of exists in some places. I know Elon wanted to do that. We don't quite have company script, but you know, some of the crypto stuff, kind of some of the things are, you know, it's hard to imagine workers getting together and stockpiling weapons and going to war against the government, but it has happened in the past. It was just over 100 years ago. So not all that long ago. I definitely feel like some part of it is the fact that people are kind of sedated, because they're, you know, something is enabling like a lot of these edgy people, for instance, online to act like nothing is happening. And honestly, nothing is happening to the average person. And so we are in the phase still, despite how much progress there has, like bad progress has occurred, where we're right too early. We're always right too early. And for the rest of everybody, it's going to be when it happens to them or near to them. And that's always like a question mark too, because of all the examples of like fucking MAGA people whose like spouses got fucking deported, and they're still like, please, Mr. Trump, please give me my wife back. Please bring my husband back to me. Like, if that doesn't fucking change, like, I would lose my mind if anybody did any fucking thing at all to Nakomi. I don't have to continue. So I can't imagine remaining as a serf to the fucking guy directly responsible for deporting my spouse. But those people exist. So you know, alternate delusional reality. And for me, a lot of this stuff is really simple stuff in my head in terms of like, it is not difficult for me to imagine how awful it would be for myself or someone I care about close to me in my life to be plucked out of life and then just dropped in some place that I've never been or they've never been, with nothing and no recourse. Your life is destroyed by those sorts of things. And that is not acceptable and not for anybody. It doesn't have to happen to me. I don't need that to happen to me. I have a fucking brain. I can simulate that in my head and go, oh yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. And therefore, I don't want that to happen to anybody. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But they feed people bullshit that makes them okay with it. Oh, well, we're going to get rid of the criminals. Okay, well, this is why we have a justice system and due process. Because they're not getting rid of just criminals. And further, they shouldn't be able to do it to quote-unquote criminals anyway. The whole point is innocent until proven guilty. Due process. Justice system. That was the point of all that shit. Is because if we let people arbitrarily cast people out because they are decreed to be criminals, then it is just a free-for-all. And you're as likely to be the next criminal as the person next to you. That's it. That's how that works. Forever. That is just axiomatic. That's how these things work. You don't get to just say, why don't we just throw all the criminals out? That's dumbass shit. You're a fucking baby brain. I know, say less, right? But like, again, this divergent reality thing, it doesn't matter what we say or how we say it or how brief it is. There's no saying something and fixing all this. You know? That's the whole thing. They're not capable of even coming to this thought process with us. And even when it does strike close to home, they still aren't having that thought process for some reason, somehow. I would believe that there are people who have been deported who are still Trump heads. I could believe that now at this point. Yeah. I mean, this has been covered all up and down, but like, in terms of criminality, statistically, immigrants and migrants are far less, perpetrate far less crime than American citizens. So, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Well, that's a little bit of that mask slip stuff, right? I mean, I think that's why a lot of them, I think that was Kirk's, like, the reason that he was so popular in that crowd is he would do little mask slips, like, intentionally, where he's revealing that internality I was talking about, where they're working with a different set of rules. And he would basically kind of use that to, build his following. Like, hey, I also think a lot of people should fucking die, guys. You know what I'm saying? Dog screaming as opposed to dog whistling. Yeah, but those are our facts, Omni. That's our reality. By the way, it is so insane thinking back on that stuff. This is also shit that's just not talked about now. But the particular timings of things that happened leading into the 2024 election in terms of like when the Supreme Court made certain decisions, how long it took them to bring those various cases up against Trump, and how every single thing came down to they ran out of time and therefore couldn't do anything, because basically he got into the presidency and became immune to all of this stuff. Like nothing could be done. It's crazy, and it's just that's one of those things that we've just sort of, it happened and it's gone now. But there were multiple Trump ending events that just didn't happen. They were like guarantees, and they should have happened, but did not. He had to win the election to survive. That was the last thing. If he didn't win the election, it was going to be forever jail. Yeah, ran out the clock. Exactly. Yeah, he was allowed to run. God. There's the insurrection stuff. There's the Epstein stuff. There was something else. There was the because I don't think even what was the big one? And this is also separate from the New York thing. I'm forgetting now. It was something that started during his was it the quid pro quo thing? I don't know. There was like multiple missiles headed directly for this guy. My boy Stephen Miller. Dude. Could there be a more odious little toad than Stephen fucking Miller? He looks like he lives in a cave. Pete Cake's breath, yeah. Pete really seems like a straight up chud, but like Stephen Miller has the countenance of a vampire. Like he's just visibly and audibly repellent in a way that seems far too fucking on the nose. He's truly an evil guy. I really kind of view Stephen Miller as the true sort of core of evil behind the whole thing. Not that the others aren't terrible, but he's a real frightening monster. Make sure that you keep an eye on things with regards to like voter rolls and voter laws in your areas over the next few months. Make sure you stay on top of that. Make sure everybody stays on top of that. I want a much more specific disaster. I want an immediate karma tabulation. So rather than something like a Godzilla attack or aliens or something like that, which is going to involve a lot of innocent people who don't deserve it, I want karma to be worked out all in one day. You know what I'm saying? Just something kind of like a Thanos snap, but not evil. And we would get to watch the worst people on Earth turn to dust before our eyes. Well, what I mean is like, you know, getting your karma, getting the bill. Yeah, so basically, you know, it's all worked out. Were you 51% good, 49% bad? Were you 90% bad and 10% good? And then you just explode. That's what I'm saying. That's also acceptable, Grinder. Sometimes, Pubs, I feel like you just throw insane things out. Just gotta cast these things into the world. Weighing of the heart. Yeah. I think that there were unfortunately a lot of government missteps that happened during the pandemic that sort of encouraged more of it to be fucked up than it needed to be. But I think those people were also always gonna fucking also be that way, because they don't experience any sort of feelings of empathy. It's kind of like there was that what was that fucking shit? There was that study where they compared like conservative and liberal people in terms of like how far out they would mark, like from their inner circle to this outer distant circle. Like, what do you care about? And what's funny, like there's an extra layer that happened that almost feels like it needs to be incorporated into the study, where when conservatives see those results, they don't even have the ability to understand them. Okay. So like for us sane people, we look at it and we go, oh yeah. And in fact, if you read the study, this is what it is. For the conservatives, their empathy doesn't extend beyond like their family. And for liberals, it extends all the way out. So it's including their family and goes out to people that they don't know, and etc. But when conservatives look at it, their criticism is that liberals only care about the people where where the marker is, because they can't, it's this instant, like they're telling on themselves because they can't comprehend what they're even seeing, which is proving the study. It's not a fun world. Oh yeah, no, I mean, I'm just talking about a study here, Valencia. Your mileage may vary, as I think we all know. It's all a lot. Also, it's really, this is totally a separate thing. But it is so confusing and unpleasant that, like, there do seem to be some conservative politicians that are, like, kind of breaking out, but it's the worst ones for some reason. I don't know why it's consistently the worst ones. Like, why was it Marjorie Taylor Greene? And then why is it now Lauren Boebert? Some of the most awful, vile people. It's really strange, right? Yeah. Massey? Yeah, Massey's strange. Like, none of these people are good. None of this makes these people good. Just to be clear. They're not good now. It's just weird that these are the defectors. And not like people who are like closer to the line. Is Massey not a straight white man? Yeah, I guess that's the bar. They were always in it to throw rocks at things. Sounds about right. Actually, I think this is also, yeah, I forgot about this. It overlaps with the Israel thing. Because like MTG is a full-blown, genuine 100% anti-Semite. God, it's weird when you start layering this stuff on top of each other, right? Because, like, she doesn't like Israel because she's an anti-Semite. In other words, she buys the sort of Zionist reality that Israel is equivalent to Jews, which is not true. Ay. So it's still alternate reality stuff. Fuck me, man. Yeah, she was always a QAnon freak. Halen was the prototype. She kept getting dumber. It was always like a movement that they were all making. It's just that when we knew her, she hadn't completely metastasized yet. So don't be fooled. She was marching to the same drummer. All that happened to her was that she fell out of favor. I think she lost power, basically, right? I should do a little bit of founder cleanup, huh? This one subbed for 1 month. Has not spoken. This is basically the bare minimum one you could be. The bare minimum founder. I delete thee. Goodbye. Who has that brought in? This is a name I know, but who has not been around for a long time. Subbed for 3 months only. One message in recent times. June last year. Eh. Peace. Ooh. There we go. We got one who was here yesterday. Don't know if they're here today. They are. They're in the users list. Hey, Snowmo. Hell yeah! Did you get your?
Cranking it will do nothing, right?
Did you get your tickets? You can get the 1-day pass either Friday or Saturday for $125, or both days for $225.
Do nothing, right?
A cool $25 discount. It's in Factory Town, Miami, Florida. Anonymous, thank you for the 3 months gift sub to Neon Kerm and the 3 months gift sub to Snowmo Pro Bro. Well, I don't want to call them out because they're lurking, but I feel like they ought to know that it's them. They know it in their heart that they're a founder now. Guess we can wait and see. Haha! Hello! But it is! It is, though! Refresh! It is. Welcome, Bellman. Welcome. You were early. You were quite early on the list. It didn't take long to get to you. Got another one here that was just 3 months subbed, hasn't spoken in forever. Adios. It is you. It is. Congrats. Let's see. This one subbed for 2 months and never again. And hasn't said anything, so goodbye. Next. 11 months, hasn't said anything. Goodbye. It said something about them. I didn't read it. Oh well. Let's see. Who are you? 5 months. Hasn't said anything lately. And you. Two months, hasn't said anything. Delete. This is a real string of names that I do not recognize. 3 months, hasn't said anything. Ah, here's a name I recognize, but I know hasn't been around. Subbed for 2 years. Hasn't said anything lately. I'm going to sit on that one for a minute. Let's check another. I'd like to have a full set of founders who are also regulars at the end of this. That would be great. Oh yeah, this one's at 2 months. It seems like a lot of people who have just like a vehicle of some kind as their avatar were not heavily invested. That brought another one in I don't really recognize. Whoa, 55 months though. That's a long stretch. No recent messages. Hold off on that one for a minute. See who this is. $47 months. No recent messages. Shit. These are getting more and more difficult. Shit. Let's see here. The ones I think that are the toughest for me are people I used to game with, who I just don't game with anymore. But I still feel like some affection for. But I mean, like, I don't know that they're ever going to come back, you know? It is coming down to, like, I'm going to have to start getting rid of them. Unfortunately. That's how it is. Another deactivated account. Oh. Wow, this is a surprise. So that brought in another subscriber, and this is absolutely a lurker. I don't recognize this name even a little bit. How powerful is this lurker, I wonder? Damn. They're a 144 month. Holy shit. No messages. I don't know if they've ever spoken at all. Extremely high power level. What the hell? Are they here today? No, they're not here right now. Sometimes I wonder if there's like people that just don't notice that they're still subscribed. But I mean, over a decade? Probably not, right? They are not among us. Not currently. Okay. Gotta nuke this one. And let's see who this is. I would love to get another win where it's somebody who's here right now. This is another 1 month subscriber. Adios, amigo. I was so shocked to see another sub come in. That was nutty. Every time I see it, I feel like I won something. It's crazy. Another 1 monther. Adieu. A 10 monther hasn't been around. Adios. You might, Craig. I mean, you were pretty early on, I think, right? You're 136 months, man. I mean, it's possible. Oh, damn. Wow, this is a 76-monther. They haven't spoken recently. Indeed, you're a legend for other reasons. But you never know. You never know, man. I might delete a year's worth of people. It might happen. Although, I mean, I'm getting into some tough ones. Like, it's really hard when it's like this one, a 76-monther, right? But hasn't spoken, not currently subscribed. I feel like, I guess the rule should just be that I need to let it go, and it's just if they're not subscribed, they're off the list. Right? It just feels bad when they're like, the higher the contribution level, the more it feels like rough to do it. I know, I really wish it showed last update. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I don't know King's current name. I mean, I haven't seen King or talked to King in forever, sadly. Oh, I recognize that name. I feel like the way that all that stuff ended, it was like either still tolerated me or fucking hated my ass. It's one or the other. We may still be friends. Oh God, yeah, one of the people on here that I'm considering deleting, I have as friends. Rough stuff, folks, rough stuff. Oh. Okay, my bad. Thank you for the update, Belle. My very bad. Hello, Bobbint. Gotcha. Well, I hope she's well. I'm hitting a slew of names I absolutely don't recognize at all. Oh, we got somebody. We got somebody. Nah, nothing funny. We got somebody, and they are here. But they might not be here. Mike, Mizak, thank you for the raid. Welcome. Welcome, friends.
I can never get in there and crank it ever again.
Anonymous, thank you for the 3 months gift sub to Clyde.
I can never get in there and crank it ever again.
Anonymous, thank you for the 3 months gift sub to Steve. Anonymous is always watching. Always waiting. I'll give you all a hint. It's a moderator. I guess I didn't really advertise my Twitch very well. Cobot got it last night. Enz was like one of the earliest founders. Aren't you, Zick? Aren't you? Let's see. You're up there. I mean, it's possible. I'm wiping out a lot of people. Let me see the person that just got it. Let me see where they're at. I think I'm going to have to reveal it because they might only be here from lurking. Okay, well, all right. We've only made 1 month of progress. It is nuked. Hey. Okay, this is a funny one. Wow. No, it doesn't show first sub date, unfortunately, either. There's a lot of information they could provide, they don't. This is really surprising to me. But I guess, were we hanging out around that time? Guess maybe we were. Not currently subbed. But Sevidus just popped in. It's going to be weird to delete him. But here we are. I got to make room. No, the next one after 104-month sub. Last time they spoke was 2 years ago. Fuck. That's a rough one. I'm biting the bullet and I'm wiping out the ones that I've been waffling about. I'm just doing it. I'm gonna try not to think too hard about it. None of them that are in here have been here within years, so. Yo! Okay, well, that revealed a stack. One of whom was a subscriber, is a subscriber. They are not currently here, but they have been here recently. They were here yesterday. Blues McGroove. Yeah. Let's go. And in terms of Blues credentials, 143 months. Yeah, we've only made 1 month of progress. You know, I'm so sorry, Craig, and I think you might be right. Hey, if you want to ping him, go for it. It's cool. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slots left. We've come to one who I am just going to delete without even looking at them because I remember that name. That's all I have to say about that. It's kind of... the number of names that I remember and recognize feels kind of crazy. I think a lot of people think that I wouldn't remember them, but I kind of remember everybody. Speaking of, we have just unveiled another subscriber, current subscriber, not currently present, but has been here recently. Certainly this year. I don't know how frequently. October. So not, well, they haven't spoken this year. But within a year, it's more what I meant. Quaxum. I long to not speak for a year. Okay, got blues added to the stack. That's how I'm viewing it now. I'm not looking everybody up anymore. Ah, yes, that long memory for names also informs me on ones I will delete immediately. Another one just came through. Adieu. Adieu forever. I'm a to the grave grudge holder. Bye, Felicia. It's not many. It's not many. It's really rather few, which is good. Damn, I'm sending people into the wood chipper now at this point. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Another one has emerged that I'm loath to delete. Because I love them. They wouldn't mind though. I'm gonna look them up. Yeah. It is Jasky. But good news, we have another subscriber.
Oh wow, you made a lot of progress.
I did, yeah. And are they here with us this evening? No. Another not with us right now. But it is a name well known. Let me just check their power level. 142 months. We've made another month of progress.
Yeah.
And they've been here as recently as January this year. And their name? Epio. Yeah, I decided to stop waffling about some of them. Just kind of
Yeah.
get on with it. This one's weird because their avatar is text. How does that happen,
It's a
Twitch?
link.
That's weird. Well, all the avatars are links. Oh no, another one that's rough. I wonder how he is. I hope he still is. Oh, his channel advertises mine. Oh. It's this is a really tough one. This is Bob Bold. Not subbed. Bob Bold is the guy who actually sort of kicked off the collection stuff.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that sent me that first box of his old Super Nintendo stuff. And yeah, I don't think he's online, and it really bothers me because I think he was kind of older, and you know what I mean? I'm really loath to delete Bob Bold. Let me look him up. He subbed for 29 months and he hasn't chatted. A good long while. I hope he's good. It's a tough one. I'm not going to immediately delete him. Although I am running out of spots now.
Oh.
I should wrap up, eh?
Yeah, it's been that time, and I want to know if you wanted your other person since you had a really rough day.
It's okay. You don't have to do that.
I mean, it's not really doing anything. I bought it. It's hidden in my office. But
Right.
you have passed by multiple times today,
Ah.
dropping off my presents.
Well, I didn't go a looking.
I know. So otherwise you would have found it immediately. It is not very well hidden.
We've hit a long stretch of non-subscribers. I kind of wanted to finish this out since we're so close, but it is totally random. Oh my goodness.
Well, it makes sense though, because
It's been 12 years.
well,
More than.
also when you first made your channel, it was off of your YouTube Minecraft series. So you had a lot more people come, and they were like, "He's not doing Minecraft? Damn!" And then they stopped.
Yeah, that was
So
definitely
like,
a thing.
a lot of these people aren't going to be around anymore.
Well, there was also just the hype of getting a sub button.
Yeah. That's my butt crack one.
Damn, I am seeing names go by. Wow, 1 month though.
Wow.
That's okay. I don't hold it against anybody. If anything, it was always sort of a goofy thing where it's like creators subbing to each other. It's like we're just handing the same money back and forth.
Not really, but you're also like pinning Twitch.
Yeah, we're just
That's,
all we're doing is we're giving Jeff Bezos money for no reason.
that's the other reason that I haven't subscribed to you, because it's like, do
Yeah.
I want to pay ourselves $2.50?
Yeah. Well, ostensibly the benefit is that you get access to like their emotes at least, that sort of thing.
They didn't add that until later.
Ow, bun. Hey, we got somebody.
Oh. Oh, hey.
Yeah. And probably not here because she's pretty random. No, she just doesn't pop in here that often because I don't know.
She got sick of you talking politics. She's like, there's no fucking game.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear him complaining for 2 hours again.
This one is Paintbrush Puke. We all know paint. She's followed by somebody named Flesh Taint.
Flash Taint.
Oh, Flash Taint. Still, it's slightly improved, but yeah, I guess that is better than Flesh Taint. Thank you for that important correction. Like Gavin Newsom, I can't read. Also, one weird sort of existential thing about this is I feel like the more that I have to click, the more of an indictment of me as a content creator it is.
I don't think so. The fact that you can have already filled up.
Honestly, it is
This
surprising.
much,
Yeah,
like-
it's surprising how many people have been like the whole fucking ride.
Yeah. If it had been like 3 years and you were doing this, then yeah, maybe. But like, it's been a long fucking time.
Truly, it has. It's addicting though. I'm just like, I'm so excited to see.
It's like your own little slot machine. I'm turning 40.
Yeah. It's our birthday weekend, by the way.
It's the big 40, jumping into a new decade. Oh. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't decided how I feel about it yet. Like, mostly it doesn't matter. I just kind of want to do something special on the day. To be like, I'm maybe an adult now. I mean, it didn't happen when I was 30. I figured maybe 40.
Not beating the accusations. I'm really hitting a stretch. Hey, there's one. They've been here fairly recently as well, I believe. Don't know if they are here now. Probably not. Nope. Viking Warlock is now a founder.
Only 3 spots left.
Oh, there's King. I've just arrived at King. Bellament. With the yeah. I knew this name.
Only 3 months?
Yeah. That's, I mean, that's, you know, whatever. That's fine. Ripperino.
Ooh, bot 128.
Careful. I'm not reading many of them out. Although that one was fine. But just saying.
You read out.
I'm being choosy. I'm being choosy. Okay, look, I said flesh taint. It was funny. And I have to say cockbag of the evening, because that one's also funny. What the hell? John Candy for some reason. This, you can tell a certain night was going on, because there's also vague stream reference. Something was going on this evening that these subs came in. People were making accounts and subbing them. Delicious Man Breast 69. Yeah, y'all were up to some shit this evening. Whatever evening this was. I really wish I could get the dates on those, but sadly, Twitch does not provide. We're down to 4 slots here.
Alright.
Yep.
Only 3. Oh.
There's Bob.
Oh.
There's Bob. I'm gonna
Let's
delete him, but like, yeah, I'm gonna save him for
24 hours
last.
For respect.
For respect, right? In honor, in honor. I'm gonna stick with honor. I almost was gonna say something else, and then I felt so fucking horrific. Anyway, let's just move on.
I know exactly what you were gonna say because we have been married for that long. I followed your process.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 20. It's 25 total. That's a name I recognize, actually. But they are not so. Come on. Come on. Hey, there we go. We got another. Are they here tonight? This feels like a call-in show. They are not, but they've definitely been here recently, I believe. When did they last speak?
I can never get in there and crank it ever again.
Anonymous, thank you for the 3 months gift sub to I Am Respectful. This is 139 months now. Maybe, you know, Craig and Zick, you guys might actually be. It's counting down, getting there. Anywho, this is Troyborg. And November, yeah. But I mean, they pop in. Troyborg pops in. People know that name.
And then there were 3.
Oh no, I didn't catch that. Thank you. Heiko, I used to watch you all the time in high school. Started in the middle of your Harvester playthrough. What a time to start. Don't use Twitch, but glad to see you're doing well. Hell yeah. Thanks for popping in. It is crazy to
And was very respectful.
to have popped in during Harvester. It's wild. Yeah, enjoy, Doug. I'm also going to be doing Resident Evil. I don't know when I'm gonna start it, but it'll be soon. Mm-hmm.
I know. No, you'd be very difficult.
Harvester was awesome. That was such a great experience that we had. Hey, we've got another already so soon. And I don't think they're here either. I don't remember the last time I've seen this person speak. So this might be another high power lurker.
No, I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, well, they have messages recently enough to pop in here.
Wait, wasn't that last month? Well, I guess they could skip.
June of last year. Subbed for 127 months. Yeah, so the trouble is like they could have a gap.
Yeah.
So this is based off of when they started. So the countdown isn't totally reliable. But it's Quantum Dude, 836. Hell yes, Dave. You can get the one-day pass Friday or Saturday for $125, or both days for $225. That's $25 discount, and that's at Factory Town in Miami, Florida.
What?
Juggalo Weekend, 2026.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Juggalo Weekend, 2026. Whoop whoop. Tickets on sale now. You can still get in, even at this late moment.
But I know how many.
Yeah, I mean they've come around to magnets.
Have they?
That's old news. Yeah, no, they're pretty woke now. Juggalos are woke. It's true. Yeah, some friends played The Gathering, and they said that everyone was incredibly nice, and they spent no money all weekend. They just bartered for everything with Narcan and drug test strips.
We don't have any Narcan.
Yeah, but I mean, we could pick some up on the way.
Can
Maybe.
we? I'm getting angry.
She
Better
is.
find that last one. Quick.
I mean, it's harder now.
Right.
Two slots remain. What a name. Weird name. Huh. I don't remember them. I mean, people can have changed their names on Twitch as well, so I might not recognize a lot of people because of that. I recognize that name. Not subbed, though. Peace. We're hitting a lot of deactivateds. Oh, rip. Ripperino.
When was the last time?
We don't know. It doesn't tell us that. It's making me delete my friends. I hate this feeling. This one is pause and pause. Rip pause. See you, buddy. I am going through my my founders list, Dave, and I'm bringing it up to speed to all currently actively subbed regulars is what I'm doing. But it does lead to the occasional painful deletion. And we have hit another 139 months. Spoken as recently as September 2 years ago. That's not terribly recent. They are probably not here tonight. They are not. But they are subbed. Sir Maxus. The name I recognize very well. So that's taken us all the way down to our final slot, which I currently have Bob Bold in because I am loath to delete poor old Bob.
We should make an event from last one.
An event now.
It could be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to delete so many people probably to get to lovely, beautiful Dave. Actually, maybe not that many. I didn't realize you were a 101. That's crazy, Dave. It still would be a lot of people that have to be deleted. It would be
the lowest one was like
a storm of people. I have been subbed for 1,000 years. This was the wildest one to me, this lurker here. I don't know that they've ever spoken. Been there from the beginning.
That sounds like me.
Nutty. No, like I said, I think somewhere there's a list of all of your subs ever chronologically. I don't know where that is. I could be wrong about that. But with that, I am going to head on out of here. I'm going to leave Bob Bold for a period of time, as Nakomi suggested, out of respect. Feels too insane to delete him, but I probably will. But yeah, it's just one slot left. We'll sort it out later. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. As always, I appreciate you. And I will see you next stream. Have a good night.